All right, it's that time again. Welcome to another episode of the pre-market PulseScan with yours truly, Dex the Algo Capitalist, aka the Vulcan, coming to you live from PulseWaveTrading.com, home of the world famous PulseWave price trigger reports that we place in your hand each and every trading day. All right, so this is going to be another quick one. Got things to do, got places to be. So it's just a few things we need to go over this morning, just to get your mind right. You know what I'm saying? Got to get your mind right for the day. All right, so let's take a look at these overnight markets first. See what's popping on there. All right, so the Dow futures is up 194 points at 27,894. We got the Nasdaq 100 up 103 points at 11,376 and three quarters. Even the S&P 500 up 26 at 3379 and a half. Russell My Hustle up 17.8 points at 1592 even. Bitcoin Futures Composite Index up 65 at 10,695. Nat Gas up 12 cents at $2.64. Crude oil off 82 cents a barrel at $39.90 a barrel. Long bond is off 29.30 seconds at 173 and 25.30 seconds. Gold is down $16 at $1,892.70 an ounce. Silver off 13 cents at $23.79 an ounce. And the US dollar index off 8 at 93.60. Euro dollar up 21 pips at 117.91. Pound sterling is off about 10 pips at 128.95. Aussie dollar up 24 at 71.45. Canadian off 34 at 132.78. Euro yen is up 70 at 124.65. And the dollar yen is up 17 at 105.85. And the Kiwi is unchanged at 65.96. Beans up 8.5 at 10.52 half, which is right here at the high of the session. Corn is up 3 3/4 at 3.88 and 3/4, right near the highs of its session. And wheat is near the highs of the session, also up 8.5 at 6.01 1/4. So grains are really on fire this morning and doing their thing. There's just a little bit of tidbit stuff going on that we should address. We have a couple of things popping off, just a few. There's a couple things popping off. If I can get it up, that will be very helpful. So bear with me just for a second as I pull everything up. Sometimes things don't want to cooperate. You know how technology is. Doesn't always want to do what it's supposed to do. All right, so let me go back into the other folder here. Okay. So the overnight market news is as follows. All right. They claim, word on the street is that the U.S. economy can live with stimulus being delayed as long as it is implemented by early 2021. According to J.P. Morgan, relief spending could be pushed to after the elections because both Trump and Democrat challenger Joe Biden want their name on the package, according to J.P. Morgan. So as it stands, there is no stimulus coming at this point. All right, AOC says if Trump walks away from relief spending, the economy would be staring down the barrel of one of the largest mass evictions in U.S. history. The U.S. could experience problems with hunger unseen since the Great Depression, the 30-year-old Democrat said. Whatever. Since when have they cared about anybody? Massive amounts of evictions take place across the United States every day. Every day. Thousands of people get evicted every day. You never heard them talk about saving those people. No. Look at the homeless situation in the state of California. You don't see them trying to lift a finger to help them either. They don't care about the poor. They don't care. All right, let's see what else we got here. China is being talked about, according to a lot of funds, as being the place to be. They think that their equity market is undervalued. Whatever. Let's see here. What else we got? That's pretty much it. There's not a whole lot happening, folks. Just not a lot happening. All right, so the U.S. futures, as we know, are up. Germany's DAX fell 0.3%, while Britain's FTSE 100 and the Euro Stoxx 50 were about flat. In Asia, markets in China were closed for a holiday. Hong Kong's Hang Seng rose 1%, and Japan's Nikkei fell 0.1% at the close. In the U.S., we're about 0.5% in the positive. Earnings expected. Tesco and RPM International are some of the highlights. On the data docket, we got the Federal Open Market Committee minutes and the New York Fed President John Williams' speech. So those are due out today. Other than that, it's just not a whole lot going on. Like Mama used to say, sometimes no news is good news. All right, we don't want to have to be dealing with a whole bunch of foolishness all the time, right? So as it stands, here's a little snapshot as far as how these markets are shaping up, as far as what position the markets have moved themselves into. So let's talk about that for a second here. First and foremost, everybody's what's up to everybody in the live chat. What up, Mick and Kelvin and Tom and Battles? What up? Smash that like button. YouTube VDub. Thanks, Mick. Says, by the way, nice call on last night's market. Thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, I've been in the lab, man. I've been working hard on these. I do think that we're about to see some fireworks and volatility also. That's why I had to go ahead and add the zero filter back into the reports. So that's going to probably remain there for some time because of this, the uncertainty. You know, markets don't like uncertainty, and you got to protect yourself at all times. Okay, so another thing too, all those that have access to my watch list has been updated, and I have the items that I'm usually trading in and out of, you know, every day. And since I primarily trade futures, they're pretty much, you know, futures. That's what's on there. Just so you know, just I like to focus on that primarily. All right, let's see what else we got. All right, I think that might be it for now. Just give me a second. Just want to double check. Okay. So as far as market positioning, we went over some of this last night, but in case anyone missed it, you definitely want to check out last night's video. But we come into today, believe it or not, with crash alerts in these markets. So the following notables with the rally crash alerts, we had a rally alert for the Mexican peso. We had a crash alert for the Dow, crash alert for the E-mini S&P 500, crash alert for nat gas, and a crash alert for the Russell and silver futures. As you can see, some of these are already playing out, while the ones with, as far as the equity markets are concerned, they're kind of really just in a holding pattern. We're just consolidating at this point, moving sideways. So that's pretty much what's going on there. I think the rallies in the equity markets are going to find themselves being sold off. That's what I'm believing. That's what I'm seeing here. So this is just a word of caution. I think you need to be prepared for the rallies to be faded in the equity markets. If not today, then possibly as early as tonight's trading session. So what we normally do when we get these rally and crash alerts, remember, sometimes the system is ahead of the market, and it could take anywhere on average, it takes between 3 to 5 trading sessions for the market to catch up to the indicator, because it's a leading indicator, not a lagging indicator. All right. So you need to be aware of that when you move forward. Okay. Just want to throw that out there. There are times when you just really need to take heed of those things, because you just never know. There is I would say probably the majority of the time, um, when you get that rally or crash alert, it happens immediately. Like, there's really no delay. It happens immediately. The next trading session, you can pretty much set your watch by it. But there are times where there is a delay, and you just have to be mindful of the delayed process that can occur. All right. So with that being said, I'm looking at the market, and I think that you're going to want to be a little cautious. All right, moving ahead, just because we're now well into the news-driven cycle with the markets. What I mean when I say news-driven cycle in the markets is as follows. If for whatever reason, all right, if for whatever reason a news report comes out, the markets are going to be uber sensitive to them. All right. Even if it's a rumor, you'll have a knee-jerk reaction, and then the market will snap right back. But these knee-jerk reactions could be quite volatile, and they could be quite dynamic. And those are the things you need to watch out for. The dynamism effect of news on these markets. Okay. So case in point, last week it was put out that Trump had contacted the coronavirus, right? All right, so that's a perfect example. In a situation like that, what we don't know is how the market is going to respond to that type of information. Now, some would probably think, oh, well, I can expect the market to go down from here because that's quote unquote negative news. The problem with trying to trade off of news or information that is deemed unknown by the general public, when it comes to equities, you can't do that. It's called insider trading, and you can go to jail. But with forex and commodity futures and crypto, there is no such thing. So it still puts you at a disadvantage, though, if you try to move on said information. And the reason is because you don't know how the market is going to react, how it's going to respond to that news. There have been many a time where there have been bad news to come out and the markets rally, or great news to come out and the markets fall. So you don't know the reaction on how it's going to be perceived. And when it comes to certain details, it could take days or weeks or months to figure out, depending on the velocity of the information that's coming out for the rumor or breaking news scenario. So barring a major catastrophic event, we have an idea per se on where the market's headed. Case in point, we'll just take the Dow as an example. So Up until September the 8th of 2020, we were in a solid bull market complexion within the Dow. But on the following day, September the 9th, we switched into an official corrective state in the Dow futures. But here's the catch. Even though we slipped into that situation, the market didn't really sell off. It didn't really sell off. You didn't really get this overwhelming downside move in the market. Not until September the 21st. What happened September the 21st? The market fell out of bed and it left the corrective positioning in the market and entered into what is called the Kumo cloud of death and consolidation and confusion. And it was when it got there that the market proceeded to decline rapidly, only to technically bounce back up on September the 28th to position itself outside of the cloud and back into a corrective phase. When we say corrective phase, we mean from a bull market where prices are rising to a corrective bearish phase where the prices are declining. Now, here's the fun part. When it got back into that position, it then on the next day went back into the Kumo cloud, but it did so, which is really weird. It did so while moving sideways. Then on the next trading days, on my birthday, September 30th, we went back out of the Kumo cloud and then back into the corrective phase. But instead of declining, we had prices rising just a tidbit. Then on October the 4th, back into the Kumo cloud again, but this time in a declining fashion. All right, are you peeping the patterns here with me? So what we have been privy to is a market that is in the process of topping out. All right. So it's playing flip-flop with, getting inside of the Kumo cloud, outside of the Kumo cloud. The next phase from that, and it even tried locking in. It tried locking in on the 5th of October, went back into the bull market, locking itself in, only to decline as of yesterday. All right. So where does that put the market today? We get that crash alert for last night coming into today. And guess what? The market is technically now in danger of falling out of the bull market complexion entirely and switching from a bullish to a bear market perspective going into the election. This lines up perfectly with the 2016 scenario that we saw. So this is where we are. All right. Just saying. You got to keep your eyes and your ears open. You must follow the reports without deviation and be quick to take profits. The market is not trending right now. It's in a consolidated phase as it's preparing to enter into a bear market. So I just want to throw that out there for you. You're going to have days with, the Dow was up 200 today. Oh, the Dow was down 200 yesterday. Oh, the Dow was up 500 today. Oh, what a rally. When really all you have is probably anywhere from an 800 to 1,000 point trading range. So each day it may seem like the market is really moving, but it's not. It's just moving up and down within the range, especially when you're in the technical algo Kumo cloud. So it can seem like, oh man, I'm out. Did you see the market was up 500 today? I missed what I missed. You didn't miss anything. The market's consolidated, trading in the same time zone as July the 1st of 2020. Technically speaking, you're still stuck in July 1st, 2020. You haven't gone anywhere. And I showed you last night another example, even with the crude oil. You need to go back. You need to go watch last night end of day report, because I show you some things that probably going to shock a lot of people. So definitely do yourself a favor and peep that. You need to go and peep that. All right, check that out. See what's good. You're gonna really need to do that. All right. So outside of that, barring the unforeseen event, I think the markets are going to be, for the most part, pretty mute, just oscillating back and forth. Really not any conviction behind it. Don't look for that. Don't look for any conviction, because you're just not going to get it. There's too much uncertainty, and markets hate uncertainty. All right. So I just want to throw that out there to you guys. Give you just a little something to nibble on a little bit. All right. And I think you will find it helpful, just so you can have a differing perspective on things, if that makes any sense to you. All right. So that's pretty much what I'm doing. I'm just throwing out a few perspectives for you moving forward, because we don't have a lot of deep news to talk about, except for the economy is in trouble. Without stimulus, they're saying that it's going to be then the Fed will have no choice but to declare the economy a depression. We've already surpassed all the earmarks from the Great Depression. We've already surpassed all of the stock market crashes in history, from the 1929, 87, 2000, 2008, you name it. Name a drop, name a percentage. We've already smoked that in 2020. 2020 has been a historical year. We've smoked every statistic from the worst time in American history. This is the Greater Depression 2.0. We have like 100 times more people out of work than we did in the Great Depression. All right. And it's only going to get worse. Now they're talking about people being evicted. I talked to you about that months ago. I told you there's going to be a tsunami of that coming to pass. Residential and commercial properties. All right. So it's not just limited, to one sector, if you will. And you guys needed to know that. That's why I had to put that out there for you, because it is what it is. All right. So just some things for y'all to think about. All right. How about there's one piece of news that says world's top oil trader is now a used car salesman. And that's messed up, because they have just wrecked the crude oil market. The crude oil market is sort of like the U.S. bond futures market. Okay. You need to understand that moving forward, that the U.S. bond futures and the crude oil futures are totally under the control of the federal government. So the market will do whatever they want it to do. All right. They really, the shadow government, all right, the corrupt government has really flexed its muscles like never before. And it's been mind-blowing. It really has. Just think about what you've seen. For the first time in our history, we have seen crude oil futures go to negative 100 and negative 30 something. How does that even happen? That's not supposed to happen. It's supposed to be impossible. All right. So if they can break down the markets like that, that should tell you something. All right. We are in a famine in the United States. The economy is destroyed, and it is what it is. Now, Lord willing, I'll have some more information for you at a later date. But today, I just want you to focus on how the price action is behaving. All right, just something to think about, because they're not telling you the truth. All right, just gotta let you know. All right, so think about it. We got the opening bell just ringing, and you just need to know what time it is. We're witnessing something that we have never before witnessed in our world, and that is the complete and total takeover of dark forces. And I don't think people are taking it seriously. Not enough people anyway. Enough people aren't taking this seriously. They think it's a joke. They think it's a game. And they're going to see that this is not a joke and it's not a game, and that it's very real, and that it's going to hit a lot of people who think it would never touch them and has nothing to do with them. You're going to see some stuff that's going to really shock. That's the thing about money. You know, money can grow wings and fly away due to no fault of your own. You could be extremely wealthy today and impoverished tomorrow due to no fault of your own. One of the biggest poverty creators in our time, and for all time for that matter, is none other than war. War brings with it pestilence, disease, and famine. Those are the two of the war is the biggest cause of poverty and famine and pestilence. All right. And right now, there is a world war going on, but it's not being fought with bullets and bombs. No, it's a mental one. It is they're winning the battle for your mind. And we're going to talk about that in our next pre-market PulseScan, what that looks like and how that's shaping up. Because I think it needs to be addressed. And right now, it's something that's really not being addressed. So I think I'm going to have to address it. All right. So with that being said, y'all know what it is, man. PulseWaveTrading.com. And remember, bulls make money, bears make money, and pigs get slaughtered. So remember to take what you can and give nothing back. And I am out, Purge.